Hello everyone, this is Maureen and welcome back to another day of praying through the darkness. Are you a planner? I never really thought that I was much of a planner until I started teaching. I mean, if you know anything about teachers, they have to plan out their whole year and then each semester and then each 6 weeks and then every week, every day. I mean, we seem to spend just about as much time planning as we do teaching. Now, don't get me wrong, having a plan is a wonderful thing because, you kind of got to know where you're going, don't you think? But I also think we need to sprinkle in a little spontaneity every time. Every once in a while, not every time, but every once in a while, don't you think? I remember growing up with girlfriends that before they became a storyboard, so to speak, had everything all planned out. I mean, right down to, say, the guy they were going to meet, or maybe I should say what type of guy they were going to meet, their ideal white knight, so to speak. Even where they were going to have their wedding, the venue, the whole 9 yards. And I'm talking, we're like 12, 13, 14 years old. You know what I mean? And for some, it did come true. Mainly because they didn't venture too far from home. You know what I mean? They went to the local college. They were lucky enough to just fall right into a job. Because I'm talking, well over... let's say 50 years ago, all right? You really weren't so dependent on a college education as many of us are now for the things that we want to do. But anyway, they had everything planned. But for many of them, including myself, now I didn't really have all those kinds of plans. I knew I wanted to graduate high school, number one. I knew I wanted to go off to college. And I kind of had a pretty good idea of what I wanted to do, but 13, 14 years of age, how many times is that going to change? Just saying. So like I said, I kind of had an idea what I wanted to do, but my plans were not set in stone, as so many of my friends were. And with that being said, so many of my friends found disappointment, because they were not willing to alter that plan, to see that there was something better coming. They were just so stoic or so set on the idea that this is the way things were going to go, that they were missing out on so many wonderful things that life had to offer them. Now, I have to admit that there have been times in my life where I plan something, and I know you have too. I have this plan, and this is how I want it to go. And then just one little thing just knocks down that house of cards, and I got very disappointed. Kind of like almost in a shutdown state. You know what I mean? And I know we all go through that every once in a while, but in Isaiah chapter 25, verse 1, we are reminded of this. Lord, you are my God. I will exalt you and praise your name, for in perfect faithfulness you have done wonderful things, things that were planned long ago. I hope you realize that before you were even born, God knew you. God already had a special plan for you, just like he had a special plan for me. He knew all the twists and turns that my life was going to take, but yet in knowing that, in knowing the many times that I would wander off his path, he had a plan already. He knew what it was going to take. He knew how far off the path I was going to stray, but he also knew how to bump me back on that path he had planned for me. Has he been upset? No. He is a good father. He allows us choice. Choice even's in that wonderful storyboard that he has planned for us. Because even though we've come along and yes, we're going just great with the story that he has for us. Oh wait, here she is. She's taking a diversion. Well, we're just going to wait here a little bit because she'll be back on track eventually. We'll get her there. And sure enough, whatever happens, whatever he needs to do, he gets us right back on track, because the plans that he has for us, folks, are far more wonderful than anything we can come up with. And so when life throws you disappointments, when the plans that you have made, and I'm talking to myself here just as much, when the plans that you have made don't go quite the way you want to, let us all promise to just step back a moment, and rather than throwing a temper tantrum or shutting down or sulking and pouting, let us all step back for just a moment and be willing, be open to, well, maybe there's something better. Maybe I do need to kind of change that storyboard just a little bit. Because, folks, as Isaiah said, the plans that God has for us are amazing. They are mind-blowing when we are willing and have an open mind and heart to allow Him to take us where He wants us to be. God, your ways are higher than my ways, and your thoughts are above mine. You are fully aware of every possibility and choice before me, and you're not worried for my future. You are full of wisdom for all who ask, and your plans faithfully work out time and time again. You are not stingy, and you do not withhold from anyone who seeks to understand your ways. So how could I not praise you for your faithfulness when I look and see all that you have done? You are not finished. Your work in wonders You work in wonders and miraculously save your people. So I am firmly planted in your perfect love that will not disappoint, because I am yours. Lord my God, I belong to you. So give me eyes to see your goodness where I only see my lack. Fill my heart with the revelation of your love at work within me, right here and now. You are better than my most vivid imaginations, so be glorified in my life and show me how to work out your wonderful plans. Be glorified in my life and show me how to work out your wonderful plans. Because, folks, what God has planned for us, like I said, is far better, far greater than anything that we could come up with. Thank you so much for being here today to hear these words. I do hope that they will help you to take just a moment every time your plans don't go the way you want to step back, to see what it is that God is trying to show you, to tell you, so that your life can be full of the blessings and the wonders that He has for you. Again, let me remind you that this devotional comes to you from this little blue book that's put out by Broad Street Publishers. As always, you'll find that link down in the description box where you can go and purchase your own copy. Or, as I've been reminding you here for several weeks, Christmas is just around the corner. So think about it as a great stocking stuffer. But it doesn't have to be just for Christmas. You can also make a beautiful birthday gift, maybe for that new couple that's just getting ready to start their lives together. There's wonderful ways in which we can all share the Word of God. And sometimes all it takes is just a little devotional book. If this was your first time here, thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning. On your way out, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Look for the bell with those cute little hugs on the side, because it'll notify you every time I upload some content. Be blessed today, folks. Be willing to follow the plan that God has for you today, because you never know all the blessings that are going to be bestowed on you. And remember, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.